There.
Okay. Okay, do you have any comments for the jury?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any witnesses for the jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may call them up.
We would like to call Mr. Richmond to the stand.
Mr. Richmond to the stand.
You have to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, or whatever it is you believe in.
Okay, so as I can see, you are very rich, or you must be a millionaire, right?
Yes, I'm a millionaire.
And so, has Robin Hood stole any money from you?
A few months ago, I was coming home from my house, and from about 50 to 85 feet away, and I saw a man with a bow just running out of one of the dozen houses.
Okay. So, when you saw this man, did you immediately run to your house to see if he stole from your house?
Yes. I came home, unlocked the door as quickly as I can. I came home, and when I went into the living room, nothing was broken. So I went up to my room, everything was scattered.
So, do you keep all of your money at your house?
Yeah, no, and yes. I keep $1 million.
Do you keep all your money in your house, yes or no?
Yes, I keep $1 million at a bank and $200 kept secretly at home.
So no, you do not keep all your money in your house.
No.
So, where did you secretly hide this money?
And most of my drawers.
Were all your drawers scattered?
Yes, most of them.
So, when you were checking your drawers, if you did you find a lot of your money or stolen money?
I found $107 stolen, and only half of that is still in the drawers.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Do you have any other questions for Mr. Richmond? Would you ladies like to cross-examine Mr. Richmond?
Yep.
Mr. Richmond, what is it you do for a living?
I own the business.
You own a business. What business? You're questioning.
Do you have any proof that my client stepped foot on your property?
Not at this time.
Okay, let me ask them, do you have proof that Mr. Hood was on his property?
We do not have proof that he stole on his property, but we do have proof of the money that he did steal.
And how do you have proof of the money that was stolen? How do we know it was Mr. Hood's money?
Well, this is the exact amount of money.
I will need to see this.
That is the exact amount of money he stole, but since he stole it, we would not actually have the actual money of his.
How much is this?
$107.
$107. 20, 40, 50, 60, $107. So this is the amount of money that was stolen. However, I don't know that we really, it's coincidental that it is the same amount that he is missing. There is no proof that it is his though, even though it is the same amount.
But also, Sherwood is in England, and they paid out by pounds and not dollars.
Okay, do you have any other questions for Mr. Richmond?
Do you have a family?
Yes, I do.
Do you love them?
Yes, I do.
Would you do anything to protect them from harm?
Yes.
Are you a royal or nobleman?
I am a royal man.
Your royalty?
No, nobleman. Sorry.
Okay, do you have any, do you have any questions for Mr. Richmond? Do you have anything else for Mr. Richmond? sure?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure, ladies? Nothing else for Mr. Richmond? Okay, Mr. Richmond, you may step down and return to class if you want to tell Des we're ready. Do you have any comments you would like to say while we're waiting? Is there any comments or anything you want to clear up while we're waiting? Okay. At this point, we're going to take a short recess as we wait for your next witness. Actually, the next two will be yours, right? You would like to meet them outside? Will you hit the pause button, please? And we will take a short recess.
All rise, the incredible Judge Riddle.
Okay, we are back after a short recess. That cannot be a longer recess than I was expecting. That being said, do you have any comments for the jury?
I have a motion that clearly states that Mr. Kevin, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Escobar would clearly have their witnesses to be a farmer, another farmer, and an injured officer. And
Bailiff? Let me see that documentation. This is the motion that most of you know about, I said in class, asking for their witness list. I approved this, and with their handwriting, they said Jesse, a farmer, Jason, a farmer, Elliot, an injured officer, and Melody Beebe, possibly Melody Beebe, a pilgrim. Would you give this back to them? If you want to put it under the camera, you can. And continue with what you're showing us, or why. That's right.
this clearly says that they had to have a farmer, another farmer, and an injured officer, and they did not have a farmer. Apparently, they had a nobleman, and that was not on their witness list.
Mr. Escobar, Mr. Clark, the judge has signed a motion, a legal document submitted to the court that you are stating you're going to have those people as witnesses. What happened?
You changed it?
You changed it. There's a little problem once you sign the motion. That you're not allowed to change it, or if you change it, they should at least be notified of it. So this is a violation of court. Do you have any other comments? Okay, bailiff, will you take this to them? Do you have any witnesses at this time?
Yes, we do.
I'd like to call the Duchess of Sherwood to the stand.
The Duchess of Sherwood to the stand.
You have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or whatever it is you believe in.
Good morning. Would you please state your name for the court?
I'm the Duchess of Sherwood.
Can you please tell the clerk
Robin Hood, correct?
Yeah.
Continue.
In all the years that you've known Robin Hood, have you ever known him to be dishonest or someone who would commit an illegal activity such as burglary or theft?
Absolutely not. Robin Hood has never stolen or committed illegal thing.
Please speak up, Miss Duchess.
Okay.
Now, it has been suggested by the prosecution that Mr. Hood steals items from the rich to give to the poor, as one of those said rich women. Have you yourself ever had any items, say gold, silver, or jewelry stolen from you?
No, never. As a matter of fact, I donated quite a bit of gold and silver and jewels.
So, let's make sure that we are correct in our understanding of the situation. All of noble women of Nottingham and Sherwood Forest have donated to Robin Hood their expensive items and money of their own free will, and intentionally supply Robin Hood with the actual items that has been executed of stealing.
Yeah, that's correct.
If this pleases the court, I would like to submit this sworn, signed by the
Give a document. Bailiff. Sworn affidavit. So this is a document saying that the people of Sherwood Forest have donated plenty of gold, silver, and jewels, and that they were no way taken illegally. They were donated, and you've got 5 signatures from some of the highest ranking people in Sherwood Forest, correct? Okay, you can give that back to him. If you would like to put it under the document camera, you may. And share with the audience what it is we're looking at.
This here states all the goods and monies received by Robin Hood were donated and given by their own free will. These are some signatures of.
Okay, very good. Do you have any other questions for the Duchess? Do you have any other questions for the Duchess? Bailiff, would you please come get this document? Gentlemen, would you like to cross-examine the Duchess? You may.
Since you are Robin Hood's good friend, you should know that his real name is Robert, right?
Yeah.
He disguised himself as a medieval bandit and changed his name to Robin. Did you know that? Then look for the bushes. And I would like to put our first piece of evidence under the document.
Do you have another, 1 second, do you have any other questions for Miss Duchess?
No.
Do you have any other questions for Miss Duchess? Okay, Miss Duchess, you may step down and return to map. You may present some evidence with a comment, I presume. Let me check out, what am I looking at here?
It's a birth certificate of Robin or Robert and his sister Rebecca.
And his sister?
Starts on a note.
Robert Hood, Rebecca Hood. Okay, you may give this back to them and they may document camera that and let us know why we're looking at this. You might want to hit the effect button. It might make it a little neater. Hit effect. Okay, so this is a birth certificate for Robert Hood. Why?
So this clearly states that his name was Robert, and he disguised himself as a medieval bandit, so nobody would know his actual real name.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say?
Nope.
Okay, anything you would like to say? Thank you. Let's go ahead and get to your last witness, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we would like to call Sir Robin Hood of Locksley, aka Robin Hood.
Sir Robin Hood.
you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God or whatever it is you believe in?
Mr. Robin Hood, could you please stick your hands up in the air? Are we going to get an explanation of that soon?
Yes, you will.
Continue.
Good morning. Please state your name for the court.
Yes, my name is Sir Robin of Locksley, and I am also known as Robin Hood.
I would like the record to reflect this is a photo of my client, Robin Hood. Your Honor, I would like to have Exhibit 3 entered into the evidence.
Oh, Lord. Okay, you may give that to them to put under the document camera if they want. Okay. And you might want to hit an effect to get it back to color. That looks like the person sitting in the chair. Continue.
Sir Robin, would you please inform the court of your occupation?
Of course, I am a veteran knight who fought for my country with King Richard during the Crusades. I am also a philanthropist and the Sherwood Forest ambassador to many charities where we help to raise money to feed, clothe, and vaccinate the less fortunate souls of Nottingham, Sherwood Forest, and orphans from war-ravaged nations in Africa.
Okay, so tell us in simplest terms, what do you do?
I am a philanthropist.
Philanthropist?
Yes. And I help my fellow friends.
Continue.
I would like the record to show these exhibits. Exhibit A, Exhibit A shows my client, Robin Hood.
Okay, just a second, Miss Dunn. Let me okay these. Which one is Exhibit A on top here?
Yes.
Okay, let's just do Exhibit A first. Give that to her to put under there. You can return that bailiff to them. Go ahead and hit the lights, please, bailiff. Just a second.
Oh.
Our subject, Mr. Hood, is right here in the middle. Continue.
Exhibit A shows my client, Robin Hood, as he lovingly gives of his time, helping some of the impoverished and indigent children of Nottingham. Exhibit B,
Bailiff.
Exhibit B shows my client as he's being graciously and profusely thanked by his good deeds by some of the African nuns who helped run of Sir Robin Hood's many charitable foundations that he has set up. And Exhibit C
This is our subject here. Here.
Exhibit C shows Robin Hood as he spends time in a conference with his Holy Father Pope Benedict just before his retirement, as they plan strategies in which the religious leaders of the world can help to ease the suffering of the destitute of our realm. If it pleases the court, I would like to enter Exhibit 4, A through C, into the record.
Nothing would please me more than another exhibit.
let the record show that this is a footprint. Is a footprint of Robin Hood's.
Wow. That's good.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Hood.
Notice that is extremely distinct in character and very unique. Also, please record this photo showing Robin Hood as he gives the
This is our subject here with his pant leg up.
Also, please record this photo showing Robin Hood as he gives of his time helping and bonding with his fellow injured veteran knights of the Crusade. Please enter exhibits 5 and 6 into the record. Did you happen to receive any other injuries?
Yes, actually, my legion and I were rescuing orphans from a burning orphanage, and my hands were severely burnt so much that I no longer have any fingerprints.
Your Honor, we'd like to introduce the signed letter from Sir Robin Hood's physician stating that he, in fact, is devoid of any fingerprints whatsoever as a result of his heroic action saving children.
He has no fingerprints.
No, they all burn.
From the office of Dr. Leo DiCaprio, head of trauma and burn unit. To whom it may concern, while risking his own life to save orphan children, Sir Robin Hood sustained third-degree burns to all 10 fingers, rendering him with no fingerprints whatsoever. So severe that burning the fingers are to be covered at all times to prevent infection. Thank you.
Would you please enter exhibit 7 into the record? Sir Robin, are you stealing and burglary every a part of your duties as a philanthropist?
No, they are most definitely not a part of anything that I do, nor anything I believe in.
This band of merry men that we read about in the slanderous works of fiction that are printed about you, who are they? What do they do?
They are a group of hardworking, religious, pious individuals that give of their own time to volunteer for our cause. They travel the realm picking up our donations from the charitable and giving wealthy of the community.
It's done. Thank you. We're going to have to stop Mr. Hood because of time. Very good. But let's give you a chance to cross-examine a few questions. Cross-examine.
Okay, so I'm concerned that you killed your father when you were 15 years old, then fled to Sherwood Forest and changed your name. Is that correct?
Good.
Why did you kill your father? Stepfather.
Stepfather. He was rude
Why did you change your name?
because I didn't like Robert.
Do you know any of those Africans' names?
No, I just wanted to go help them.
Why did you help them?
Because I'm a nice guy.
Why are you a nice guy?
Why not?
I have no further questions.
said that you have no fingertips, correct? May I see your hand?
Objection! He does not have to show his fingers because they have to stay bandaged for the severe burns.
I will sustain, that is sustained. You may step down, Mr. Hood. It is also a sensitive issue that people with handicaps do not necessarily have to prove their handicap. We have a doctor's letter here. Counselor, will you please come to my bench? Counselor, will you please come to my bench? Bailiff? Good. We are looking at about. Mr. Escobar, Mr. Clark, do you have any remaining witnesses?
Yes, we would like to call Porter Billy Joe to the stand. Porter Billy Joe.
Poor Billy Joe to the stand.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, or whatever it is you believe in.
Yes.
Very good.
So, your name is Porter Billy Joe, correct? Yes. So, do you live on the streets?
Yeah, since I'm poor, I live on the streets, and while I was wandering around,
Yes. Have you ever seen any of these burglaries?
yes, when I was living on the streets, I saw a man wandering around that looked like an officer lying on the ground and paying a gas station.
Mr. Joe, please make sure you're speaking up clearly.
And did you see any person next to him? Do you know why he was grasping his right arm?
There was another man next to him who seemed to be using a bow, and the next thing I knew, he was casting his own bow.
Do you recognize this note?
Yes. After the man ran away, that fell out of his pocket.
Dear Robert, I wanted you to know how you're doing and to ask you one question. Are you killing the king today? Love, Rebecca. So your sister's asking you if you're getting ready to kill the king today?
Or not Robert?
Your sis-
Just fell out of Robin Hood.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Joe?
No, sir.
Any other questions for Mr. Joe?
Oh, this is Joe. You said that you received a note about killing the king? Yes or no?
No, I saw this fell.
Yes
fall.
or no? Well, just for anyone's information, Robin Hood is actually quite close with the king. They are friends because they fought in the crusade together. So that is a fake, it's a forgery.
Do you have proof that they fought or are friends? Perhaps a picture? Okay, while you're looking for that, you may approach the bench. Bailiff? Here's any questions. while you are looking for that, all I need is proof that Robin Hood and King were friends or fought together. While you're looking for that, they have one last witness they're gonna call up. So have a seat, so I don't think you're gonna attack me. Keep looking. You may step down. You may call up your last witness.
We would like to bring Officer Joe to the stand.
Officer Joe to the stand.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or whatever it is you believe in.
Yes.
So your name is Officer Joe, and you are an officer, right?
Correct.
So where were you on the night when Robin Hood burned down the king's house?
I was on the night shift protecting the king while he was in the castle, and in the glimpse of my eye, I had seen a man with a bow and arrow approaching the castle, and I didn't recognize him, so I charged at him.
So while you were charging at him, what did he do to you?
Next, he grabbed my right arm and broke it.
And did it really hurt really bad when you were like on the ground?
Yes. While I was on the ground in pain, the man took out his bow and lit his arrow on fire and shot it at the castle.
After he did this, did he run away?
The next thing I knew, well, the castle was in flames, and yes, he did run away.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Did you find that evidence?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions for Officer Joe?
Yes, I do.
And then we'll move to closing statements.
How long have you been employed by the sheriff of Nottingham?
Not very long.
Do you need your job? Yes or no?
I like my job.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Need it.
Are you independently wealthy?
You could say that.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So, does it not seem reasonable? Yes or no?
What?
Your statement.
Does it not seem reasonable, yes or no, that in order to keep your job and provide for your family, you would need to do anything that the sheriff ordered you to do? Yes or no?
Yes.
Isn't it true, sir, that you would say absolutely anything, derogatory about my client?
Derogatory?
Yes. About my client for fear of the wrath of the sheriff? Yes or no?
No.
You are not scared of the sheriff?
No.
You may step down. What we got now, kids, Mr. Clark, Mr. Escobar, is any last pieces of evidence, last little comments, and then right into closing statements.
So I have 3 pieces of evidence.
You may. Lights, please, because these are colored.
This first piece of evidence is a picture of Robin Hood robbing and burglarizing the king's castle on September 18th, 1889, or 1189. And when Officer Joe was hurt, he robbed and burglarized the king's castle again on March 28th.
Objection. It's not the Robin Hood that was sitting up here just a few minutes ago.
Thank you.
Because we have a photo of the real Robin
Thank
Hood.
you. Thank you. We will take that in.
And
And that's very
this
good.
is a map of all the locations Robin Hood has stole from.
The red dots are
Yes.
locations where he's stolen. Okay?
And this last piece of evidence is when Robin Hood burned down the king's house. Behind him is the castle in flames.
Okay, very good. Any other evidences or comments? If not, move into closing statements.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I thank you for your time to experience and listen to the evidence of this case. You may think that Robin Hood is just a regular guy, but he has stolen from multiple places, and he has received a letter from his sister, Rebecca, quoting, "Are you killing the king today?" Jury, have you ever made mistakes? Well, if you have, you should know that Robin Hood made many mistakes, stealing from people, which creates what? A habit. Why would a little boy murder his stepfather? Because he is a monster. As the other team said, that Robin Hood is a nice man because he gave to the poor, we will say that he is an evil man because he only stole from the rich. Please submit a verdict to the prosecution.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments or evidences?
So, once you saw the pictures of Robin Hood burning down the king's castle, well, those must be a forgery. Because it did not look like this Robin Hood, the real Robin Hood. And
Rhetorical.
And may I say, do Team Clark and Espel have any proof that Rebecca is really Robin Hood's sister?
They did have the birth certificate. Is that your proof? And you have a picture? I will quickly take that picture. Will you please move into your closing statements? And I will take that picture after this.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, from the time that we are young children, we have been taught to be kind, honest people, to help others in need when you are able to, and above all, to be good and not to lie. One common phrase throughout many religions is, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Sadly, this is something that the Sheriff of Nottingham has never learned. What the Sheriff has learned is to forcibly control a kingdom whose king is away, using a threatening and intimidating manner, verbally beaten the good innocent citizens of this realm into submission, so that submission, so they are left with no choice but to conform to a sickening will. Today, you have been shown irrefutable evidence proving that the sheriff forced Mr. Hutcherson to go against his principles and concoct libelous and defamatory stories about Robin Hood. Mr. Hutcherson may never be able to forgive himself for his actions, but Robin Hood has. The prosecution's flimsy case is no more than a house of cards, one with no solid foundation that collapsed under the weight of the defense's evidence. The prosecutor himself, for his actions. The prosecutor himself is no more than a magician trying to convince you guilty by using nothing more than smoke and mirrors to manipulate and trick you. Once the smoke clears, the evidence shines under the beacon of truth. What has the prosecution proved? What have they proved? Absolutely nothing. There is not one shred of evidence that proves Robin Hood guilty. There are no fingerprints matching Robin Hood at any supposed crime scene. Because he has no fingerprints. We have sworn statement by the very people that he has accused of robbing, stating that all of the goods Robin Hood received were donated to his cause. We have a clearly shown path of terror and intimidation by the sheriff of Nottingham, used on the residents of this just realm, all because he's a jealous monster. There are no footprints placing our client at any crime scene that matches Sir Robin Hood. Please remember that if the footprint don't fit, you must acquit. Lastly, I ask you, good people of the realm, what selfish, vicious criminal have the love and compassion to forgive the very ones that have turned on him and betrayed him? The answer is no. Only an extreme moral and just man with an innocent, benevolent heart could find it in himself to pray for those people who see in just what way he could help them. Always remember, when it comes to help, Robin Hood gives until it hurts.
Objection. Do you guys have
Not
any?
in closing statements.
Oh my gosh.
We ask you that you come back with a verdict of not guilty and acquit our client of all changes. Thank you.
No clapping. This is a neutral courtroom. A decision has to be made. Bailiff, will you please escort them out? Bailiff, will you escort them out? I'm getting ready to stand, which means you're getting ready to stand. When I walk out, please go ahead and make sure you are packed up and standing in front of your chair. It is time to go now. Mr. Norton, will you cut the film when I stand up, please? I'm standing, so are you?